Hello everybody, welcome to Vitalik's videos. This time my Dodge Dakota is acting up again and I need to fix it.
The symptoms I'm noticing are delayed, sometimes rough shifting between gear changes. It doesn't happen every time, but when it does, the RPM gauge jumps up about 500 RPM and I feel the truck coast for a second or two before it shifts into the next gear. Watch it jump up and come back down.
See, right there.
The first thing I'll do is change the primary oil and coolant return filters in the hopes that this will fix the problem. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to change the transmission pan because mine is really old.
I purchased the equipment online from rockauto.com.
I also visited my local auto parts store to purchase 2 5-gallon jugs of ATF plus 4 transmission fluid. My Dakota has the shield underneath the transmission to protect it. I'm going to remove that first. There are 4 bolts. I ended up leaving 1 bolt on and I just pushed it off to the side. Take out your transmission fluid dipstick to let the fluid run freely. I'm getting rid of this old transmission pan, so we just drilled a hole into it to let the fluid run out. Don't do this if you're going to save yours. You're going to unscrew 15 8mm bolts, and if you're saving your pan, go ahead and leave the last 2 front bolts on just until the fluid runs out. Then you can unscrew those. If your pan is stuck from a good seal, just use some kind of tool to push it down and get it unstuck. There we go. Here's my old pan with the magnet sitting at the lowest point.
So here's the magnet. That's a lot of fine, but no huge shavings, so that makes me happy.
If you do have metal shavings inside your pan or on your magnet, that's a bad sign. That might be telling you that you need to change your transmission out soon. Go ahead, clean the magnet and put it into your new pan if you have a new one. While you're working on your filters, put your bolts into a container and put some clean solvent in there to let them soak. Unscrew your first filter by hand, or if you don't have enough muscle, use a tool. Be sure you have some cardboard underneath or a container of some kind. The transmission fluid is just going to keep dripping, and you'll find that when you unscrew your first filter, it's going to drip some more, and then when you take it off, even more. The other filter has 1 screw holding in place with the Torx head. Here's what it looks like. Then just wiggle the filter and pull it down. You might have a seal that's stuck up in there. Here's what it looks like. You'll want to replace that and exchange it for the new one. It just goes inside there. Clean the mating surface using a gasket scraper or a similar tool. Clean it up real nice, make it flush. Then screw on your coolant return filter, just tighten it by hand, and then your primary oil filter, and put that screw back on. Be sure to purchase a new gasket, and if you'd like to, you can use some gasket sealer. Get your bolts ready, and if you need, you can use a wire brush to clean them even further. In this next part, it would be nice to have an extra set of hands. Someone holds the pan and the gasket, and the other person screws in the bolts. You're just going to hand tighten all of them, go around the pan, and then you'll torque them to spec. It should be torqued to 7 to 9 foot-pounds. I selected to torque to 8 foot-pounds. Torque all of your bolts using a crossover pattern where you just hit one, then go to the opposite end and tighten that one. And then once you've done that, go once more in a circular pattern and just make sure none of them tighten down anymore. I'm doing this on a Dodge Dakota with a 4.7 liter V8 engine, and the specs are to use ATF plus 4 transmission fluid.
It has been about a week of driving on this truck, and unfortunately the problem has not gone away. I still get those transmission shifting issues. The filters were changed, but that didn't seem to fix anything. So the next step is to get the solenoid valve or the solenoid assembly changed out. That's a pricier fix at a couple $100. The part has been ordered, and I'll show you guys how I changed that out. Anyways, thank you for watching Vitalik's videos. now you know at least how to change the oil pan and the transmission filters for your Dodge Dakota pickup. See you in the next one.